All right, everybody, we are live with episode number 2 of our Backwoods Fishing Podcast, and I've got joining me today. I've got 5-time IBMA Banjo Player of the Year, Sammy Shelor.
Hey.
And I've got Mr. Adam Miller.
How's it going? How's it going?
He's the mandolin player for the group, and so we want to back up just a minute. Just to start off, we want to thank all of our partners. We want to thank AA Graphics and Signs for all these great signs and the hats and the shirts and everything he's done for us. B&B Custom Outdoors, Jill of All Trade Scenery, and Tangled Trout Cabin Rental. So we want to thank all our partners and everybody that's made this deal happen. Another thing I want to hit real quick before we go any further is I want to let everybody know we're going to give away a set of planer boards at the end of this episode. All you have to do is comment on our live feed and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we're going to enter you in a random draw right here. We're going to let one of these guys pick out of a hat, and somebody's going to win a set of planer boards, and we're going to ship them to you Monday morning. So and if you don't want planer boards, we got hats. We can send you a hat too, so whatever you prefer. So wanted to get that out there, and like I said, I'm honored. I really am to have you guys here with us today.
Those are big words, Frank.
Huh?
Those are big words.
Well, hey, I'll tell you, this is something we've been excited about this, and how all this got started. Last year, we had these guys come down and play for my dad's birthday party.
Yeah.
And so me and Sammy, I met Sammy, I guess, in about 2009.
Yeah.
At Dumpling Valley Bluegrass Festival.
Yeah.
First time we ever met, and we've been talking about going fishing for
Since
a long
then.
time.
Yeah.
Since then. Every time we see each other, we'd say, let's go fishing, you know.
Yeah.
But these guys stay on the road all the time, and you know, it's harder for them to get away and go fishing. So, but we made it happen last year. It worked out, and we was able to do it again this time too. So we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna talk a little bit more. We're gonna recap our fishing trip from today and talk a little bit more about what we got going into tomorrow. So, so yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's just jump right into it. Let's just talk about our fishing trip today. What'd you think about our fishing today, Sammy, compared to last year?
It was well, compared to last year, the weather just didn't cooperate with us, and but finally over 2 days we boated 2 nice stripers, and but this morning Jeremy did his job and he put us on them, and we got 3 fish around 24 pounds.
Yeah, 24, 25.
And another one around 21, some smaller fish. The other boat got into the spotted bass and actually got a walleye that we got to eat for supper.
Yeah.
And it was a great morning. You know, it's still early in the year. The fish aren't really schooling up like they will, but he found them. And at Carter Lake is just so nice, and the water's so clear, and just a beautiful place to go fishing.
If you never catch the first fish, it's just fun to get out there and float around and, and hang out for a day. You know?
Absolutely.
So talk a little bit more. You made a good point right there. The fish are not grouped up right now. They usually never are this time of year.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of single fish, a lot of pairing fish. You'll mark 2 at a time. But there's fish everywhere. They're all over the place, but there's not a bunch in one spot.
And you got to find them. You got to keep working.
And you got to find the ones that'll bite.
Right. We saw a lot of fish on the screen, but and we presented as much bait as we possibly could, but we didn't get a lot of hits. But we lost. We had 2 hits that we lost, and then we were able to boat the rest of them. So I thought that was a more than successful day.
Oh yeah,
for
sure.
So we're gonna pick right back up. But I want to let everybody know we have got our feed working here so that I can see the questions and comments as we go. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them, and that'll help keep this thing going a little bit longer. So yeah, let's get back to talking a little bit more about our fishing trip today. I mean, it was last year we struggled the first day. I mean, we struggled big time the first day. Made it, we was able to redeem ourselves a little bit the second day. But this year's already started off on a better deal, so hopefully tomorrow. But, that's the one thing I wanted to talk about to people is you know, it's just like today with Jason. You know, Jason went over there yesterday and caught stripers. Today he wasn't able to get them.
Yeah.
Tomorrow he may be the one catching them, and we may be the one that's catching spotted bass or not catching anything.
Right.
So that's just kind of the nature of the beast. I've been on both sides of it. I've been on the good side. I've been on the bad side. Luckily today we was on the good side of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a good day, and like I say, you know, as far as Carter's Lake goes, red clay banks. That's something I think these guys even seen today. The red clay banks and the red clay points, which there's not a lot of on Carter's, that's kind of where it's happening right now when it happens. Now, as it warms up, as we go into the year and it warms up into the spring, the fish will seem like more get on those rocky points and those rocky banks and stuff. But it's you know, it's been pretty good. You can't expect to catch numbers this time of year, but when you catch them, they're big. And they're fat. The ones we caught today were nice.
Yes,
they were nice fish.
Quality fish.
Yeah.
And we never had, I mean, you know, as far as not catching numbers, it never really did slow down. You'd have it'd come in spurts and it'd go wide open for a little bit, but it was never just miserable sitting there thinking, oh yeah, our day is done. You know, It was always, you know, it was kind of to the point that we was expecting bites. You know, you had them figured out.
Just gotta keep fishing.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I mean, you know, there's places that you can go. It's like I told these guys earlier. There's lakes you can fish to where you have a chance at catching more fish, but there's not many places you can go and around here and have the chance of catching the size fish that we caught today.
Yeah.
But you know, it was, like I said, it was good. Lake Notley's been fishing good too. I mean, the fishing's been good up there. The water temperature on Notley's been a little bit colder than it has been at Carter, so it's a little bit slower for the springtime deal to set in, but it's getting there. It'll get there. Hey, I look for April and May to be really good months up at Notley.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got some, you know, a lot of things we're going to try to cover on this deal, and we're going to try to get these guys to when all this is said and done, we may get them to play a little music for us. So I had to pull their leg a little bit, but we're going to try to get them to pick a tune for us here after a while. But right now we're going to keep talking fishing. So Sammy, tell us. I mean, I know a little bit, but tell the people we're talking to. You know, what all kind of striper fishing have you done outside of going with me? I know you fished a lot of different lakes. You fished Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia.
Yeah.
You're from Virginia.
Yeah, I grew up in a little town called Meadows of Dan, Virginia, and back in, I guess, 93, 94, a good friend of mine took me striper fishing, and I'd bass fish for, you know, years prior to that. And the first time I hooked up on a 10-pound fish, and then that particular day, I think I caught 6 in the 10 to 14 range. I was hooked on striper fishing, and it was a big investment for a poor musician at that time to buy the equipment I needed and a boat, and I got myself set up. And you know, we travel on the road during the summertime, so most of my fishing was November and December and January, and I learned how to, in November when the water temperature dropped to about 60 degrees, the fish started schooling up and chasing bait back in the creeks and on the flats, and I learned how to fish topwater for them. And we were talking today about muskie fishing, and they always say a muskie is a fish of 1,000 casts.
That's something I want to do.
Oh, I know, and it's amazing fishing. But when we were lure fishing, we would probably cast 200 times for every fish we saw, you know. But when you get that blow up on top, and sometimes within 10 feet of the boat, and you jump out of your skin because you're thinking about everything else but that fish after you've done casted 200 times. When he blows up, it's the most exhilarating thing you have ever done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what about you, Adam? What's your past striper experience besides going?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. No. So you had never been striper?
No, I had never been. We would go when I was little, once a year, to Santee Cooper, and we would catfish. And you know, it's pretty similar. We would do the same. We would. There was a guy down there. You know, we would charter with him, and he'd put the whatever you call them, parachutes out the side, and pretty much the planer boards, but you know, the same thing.
Yeah.
And one trip, we caught a striper, and that was the only thing that I've ever been around. You know, I grew up going. We would go to Douglas Lake there in East Tennessee, and they have a bunch of white bass, and that's the closest thing to a striper that I've been around.
Yeah.
And then we came down last year, and I was pretty excited and wanted to see what it was all about. And we had a good, that second day we caught a few, but
it was tough. It was tough.
I can see the fun in it now after
Yeah.
going and having a good day today. So.
And he got a 20-pound fish his first
Yeah,
striker.
yeah, I might have
You
got a
know,
little
so
spoiled
that's-
on that first.
You got spoiled because I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah.
When I started out, it took me a long time to ever break that 20-pound mark.
Yeah.
Which it was things were a little bit different then. I grew up fishing Lanier, and there was a lot of schooling size fish at that time. But
Yeah.
I finally started figuring out how to target these fish, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about that as we go. But it's the big what we got going on right here. We good? Mm-hmm. So we ain't had somebody. Jim Farmer said he's just here for the planter boards. So I want to say this: Jim Farmer, he is the man that inspired me on these planter boards. Jim made my planter boards for me for 10 years or longer, and he got too busy bass fishing or something. He quit making my planter boards, so I basically started making something similar to what he made. And the thing I always loved about the Castaway planter boards was you could put a big bait on it and pull them. They pull a big bait great, or you could pull a small bait, whatever. So we've basically done the same. I've copied your idea, Jim, just so you know. But these things, man. I mean, these guys they tested them out today. You can put a 10, 12 inch, 15 inch shad on it, whatever, it pulls it. Or you can put a herring on it. They're lightweight. They don't hardly weigh anything. They're durable. I mean, these things they hold up. So I'm working on getting more made. We're gonna give this set away tonight. Jim Farmer don't need no planter boards anyway. He's a bass fisherman now, but we're still gonna put him on there. And Alex Green, what's that? Alex Green, thanks for tuning in right here. My buddy Alex. He's Alex is he's a like artificial striper guy. He goes up in the rivers and clear water, throwing glide baits and stuff like that. You was talking about the top water stuff, so we appreciate Alex joining in. Maybe there'll be some more people coming here because Jim Farmer don't need these planter boards, guys. We gotta get somebody else in here. But we appreciate Jim. Well, we gotta try to get Jim on here sometime. But anyway, let's get back to what we was talking about. So you've had no striper fishing experience. I wouldn't have known that because I mean, the way you got that rod and was fighting that fish. I mean, the most time I have to work with people and show them and tell them. But with you, it's like, I mean, you was on it. You had it.
Well,
but you got fishing experience.
Yeah. I grew up. We stay in the rivers in the summer catching smallmouth and some catfish, and they stock the creeks there around and done plenty of trout fishing, which is a whole different deal from catching these big striper. But like I said, I could see the excitement in it after getting into a couple big ones.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So today, I mean, there was a couple times where we had big fish come up chasing the big shad, and sometimes they take it and you hook up, and sometimes they don't. Either way, it's cool to watch.
Oh yeah.
That's what I love about this time of year is being able to pull those big baits and get the action. And sometimes you hook them, and if nothing else, at least they're there.
Oh, yeah.
You can keep working them and sometimes get them. So anyway, we'll move on just a little bit. I'm going to ask y'all a question that you may or may not know. I don't know about striper fishing, but this is something I get all the time. Does the moon phase affect the striper fishing?
I always noticed that it did. Full moon, I never could really do much in daytime fishing. The times I fished, I used to fish Summit in the summer, pulling redfins top water at night, but it was hit and miss still at that.
Yeah.
You really couldn't base anything. It's just when a striper wants to feed, he's going to find food.
Well, we see it a lot, around here where depending on the weather, if it's overcast or clear, if on a full moon, if it's real bright outside, the fish will feed a lot in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because they can see better when the moon's out like that, and it presents that opportunity. So for us, I feel like it's, when they fed up all night, it usually makes for a slow morning bite.
Right.
But you might see it start picking up as you get longer into the day. So it's not a deal breaker. It's not like you're not going to catch fish on a full moon. I used to be like, oh, it's full moon, we don't even need to fish. But it's just a timing thing, and that's something else we're going to talk about a little bit more. You know, I get questions all the time about Carter's Lake, how to fish Carter's Lake, you know, and it's, you know, there's not a big great secret about the bait we're using, or, you know, everybody knows it's LYs, it's shad. The biggest thing for Carter's Lake, and I hope this maybe will help people, but it's timing. It's timing. Everything's about timing. Right time, right place. We talked about it out there on the boat today.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can be in a good area and just not be there at the right time. I experienced that last week. We fished a spot where I was seeing them, like you said, but they wouldn't bite.
Yeah.
We left, went somewhere else, fished for a little while. We went back there later in the day and we caught them.
Yep.
It's a completely different outcome, you know, just a different time of the day. So, you know, just keep that in mind. It's everything's about timing, you know. And
Absolutely.
these fish, these stripers, they're always moving, they're coming and going. So don't get hung up in the same spot. Just keep, you know, this time of year we're mostly planter boards, flat lines. I think Jason caught some bass on a down rod. Jesse, was that walleye today? Was it on a down line?
No.
It was on a. Was y'all fishing straight down, or was it on like a planter board?
No, we were fishing straight down.
You were fishing straight down. So the walleye hit a down line, bass were hitting. So we still got fish up there that are deeper.
Okay.
But most of all our stripers today come up shallower. So we got my old buddy Matt Norton. He's tuned in here. He don't need no planter boards either, but we'll put him on the list anyway. So Keith McKinnon. Keith is going to be. He's going to be on here with us here in a couple months. He's part of I think the Lanier and the Oakwood Striper Club.
Mm-hmm.
Keith's been around a long time. Great guy. We appreciate him tuning in. And so let's move on a little bit and talk a little bit more about, you know, questions that I get asked, common questions that I get asked about striper fishing. And one thing that I get asked all the time, when's the best time to fish? We talked about this today too, Sammy.
Yeah.
I told Sammy, I said, if you can predict the weather, you might be able to tell somebody when the best time to fish is, because this is not like Chesapeake Bay stuff where it's a seasonal thing. You got to be here at this certain time of year.
The schools are moving by as you catch them as they're coming
These
through.
are landlocked stripers.
Yeah.
We see up and down fishing all throughout the year. We see good and bad all different times of the year. So it's hard to tell a customer, you need to book this month because this is when it's going to be on. Because if I told somebody that, the fish would make a liar out of me for sure. So I've learned to not even say stuff like that because you just never know. I mean, you really just never know. You don't know till you get out there. But all right, Mike Bartlett, what's up, man? We got a couple more people coming on here. So looks like we're gonna have a pretty good giveaway on these planter boards.
Yeah.
So that's looking good. So yeah, I mean the biggest thing I would tell people right now with our fishing at Carter's is have a good variety of bait. The one thing I've seen here lately, it's not all big bait. I mean it is some big bait getting hit, but it's a lot of you know, just medium-sized baits or the LYs and that kind of thing. So you got to have a variety. You got to have a. Jason said that y'all was saying the Golden Corral, the buffet. Put the buffet out there.
Yeah.
See what happens. You know, that's all you can do from day to day. We see things change from day to day. One day it's herring, next day it's shad. You know, it's always different. So the only thing you can do is get out there and put a good variety of baits out and try to key in on them and see what's happening that day and adjust accordingly, because every day can be a little bit different. So what we got right here?
What up? Y'all ready?
Are we ready for West Point? We're as ready as we're ever going to be. Actually, we're not ready. We hadn't even signed up yet. We got to get signed up tonight or in the morning. But yeah, we're going to be heading to West Point Lake. I don't know if y'all know where that's at, but it's south of here. We're going to be going down there next weekend to fish a striper tournament. So we're looking forward to it. I don't know if we're ready for it, but we'll see. Time will tell.
You got some good looking bait right now. I know that.
Well, if I don't use them all between now and before the tournament, but I got to take care of my customers first and foremost.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, we enjoy the competition of these tournaments, and it's we got late record 40 pounds.
Last week.
Last week.
Big chat.
Wow, that's good to know, Mike. Where at?
That's the question right there.
There you go. It's gonna go silent now. It's gonna go silent now. But hey, I tell you what, I seen the potential at West Point last year. I mean, we caught like a 26 pounder 2 days before the tournament. A lot of people were catching smaller fish, you know, but there is some good fish in that lake down there. So there's a lot of small fish, but there's some good fish in that lake too. So that's good. So what was the lake record, Mike? Before, obviously you broke the record. What was the record before? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll answer me here real quick. I know our lake record at Carter's is 36.5 pounds. I want to say West Point was somewhere around that same thing. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to that, man. It's gonna be a good deal. Like I say, we 36 pounds was what the lake record was at West Point too. So, yeah, I mean, you know, 20 to 30 pound fish around here, man. That's what I told these guys this morning. You know, Lake Lanier used to produce some 40 pounders. But for us, you know, unfortunately, I don't live in Tennessee. You're from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in the land of the giants, man. He come down here and striper fish for me. I'm like, man, you know, you need to be striper fishing in Tennessee.
And there's not a whole lot of, well, I say that you know more than I do, but I don't know a whole lot of striper fishers up there. It's bass, you know, largemouth central there.
There's a lot of bass fishing, yeah. But there's some big stripers up there for sure, and there's some good opportunities.
There's actually a buddy of mine. On a place that we fished some bass tournaments together. Last year he was fishing I guess the tournament's from like 7 to 11, so it was an evening tournament, and he hooked into a striper, and he thought he had the world record largemouth hook, and he said it stripped him out to about all of his line, and he finally got it in there. He didn't weigh it, but it would have been, 15, 16. It was a good one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's always fun to get that surprise. There's a lot of people that I know that's how they got hooked on striper fishing.
An accident.
They was crappie fishing or bass fishing or whatever, and they accidentally hooked into a big striper, and the rest was history.
Oh, yeah.
So that was me. I mean, when I first went striper fishing, a good friend of mine that I grew up with, Brandon Jenkins, that's who I started fishing with. And the first time we got on them and caught them, we knew we was hooked, man.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been in history ever since. I mean, that's just what we do. So, let's see what we got right here. Oh, Shannon, good question. What bait? I probably know the answer to that, but
we can ask
What do you think
anyway.
it was, Jimmy?
Yeah, see if you can guess before he tells us the answer. What was he using to catch his winning?
probably a 18-inch gizzard shad. I could be wrong. You caught your big fish down there last year on a herring.
Little bitty one.
Yeah, which that, I mean, you put it in front of them. Sometimes it's what's Anthony? What's his saying?
Catch an elephant with a peanut.
Oh yeah, you catch an elephant with a peanut. But I tell you, I think this time of year, I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen every day, but to target those bigger fish, when you put that bigger bait out there, that's what's gonna get those fish's attention.
Absolutely.
You might not always catch them, but
We had that today. We had the bigger bait on the outside and a small bait on the inside, and
we had a fish hit the big bait, was
And then-
trying to eat it, got fired up,
and then
but-
eat the small.
and then turn and hit the smaller
Yeah.
one, and we
Yeah.
hooked up.
Yeah.
So, that's something right there that I've seen that for years and years. That if they're not hitting the big bait, at least have one out there for a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
know.
said big bait.
Yeah, got mongo.
Yeah. Going to Tennessee in the AM. I wished I was going with you, Mike, but we're actually going back to Carter's, but that's all right. That's only 20 minutes from the house. So, so we got more people coming in on the comments here, and so hopefully we'll get. Let's see. Matt Norton said you'll be surprised how many bass of all sizes will hit 6 to 8 inch swim baits. Okay, so that's to add to that. We actually caught a 3-pound spotted bass today on about a 10-inch gizzard shad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The stinger caught him, but Matt's exactly right. I mean, sometimes you can, sometimes those fish will go after them bigger baits. It's like, man, how do they even, how do they eat that? Hovis, Christopher Hovis, what's going on, man? He said you can catch an elephant with a peanut and you'll eliminate small fish with large bait. That's it.
That's
I mean,
true.
if you want to catch big fish, if you want to fish tournaments, you're going to want to fish the bigger baits, you know. But like I said, it's a little bit different, you know, outlook on it when you're guiding, when you're on a guide trip and you're just trying to put fish in the boat. You know, sometimes you can mix those smaller baits in there and you can pick up a lot more fish that way when you're on a guide trip. And like I say, you're on a guide trip, you're just trying to catch fish, you know, unless you got somebody that's wanting to target that big fish, you know. But we always try to cater to our customers. If we have people that have families and children, they just want to go out and catch fish, we'll try to get them on that. But like these guys, you know, without even asking them, I know, because the first thing they said today was, we've already caught one bigger than we did last year. So I'm like, these guys, they're like me. They just want to catch a bigger fish and a bigger fish and a bigger fish. So, but yeah, that's exactly right there. You can catch an elephant on a peanut. That's what Anthony Johnson always says. So anyway, so we'll move on here just a little bit, and we're about 30 minutes into this show. We're gonna move on and get to where these guys can jam out for us here a little bit. But I want to remind everybody of our next show we have coming up on April 12th. We're going to have Justin Utterback. He's a striper guide on Lake Lanier. And Jody Presley. He's one of the OGs on Lake Lanier. He's been around for forever. And then our own Russ Dees will be with us on that one too. So April 12th. You want to make sure everybody remembers that and tunes in for it. So guys should always have 4 to 6 inch bait just to make sure the line gets stretched. Yeah, that's right. You know, I think right now, I mean, and really any time, it's all about variety. It's all about having the variety and being prepared. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. People think, well, we'll just go up here to the bait shop and get a couple dozen herring and go catch some stripers. Well, what if they're not hitting herring that day? What if they're hitting a bigger bait? What if they're doing this? What if they're doing that? And that's where things get a little bit more, you know, on my end, we have to try to be more prepared, you know. We'll go catch shad or whatever we got to do, and then we'll go out there early in the morning, put the light out and catch herring. And, you know, I mean, you have to do that, or either if you don't, you're going to look back and think, well, I wished I'd had something else to try. So, but anyway. So I've talked enough, guys. Y'all gonna have to help me out here. I know everybody's probably tired of hearing me. But hey, we appreciate all these guys that's coming on here and leaving these comments. This is helping me a lot being able to, because last time I was blind. I didn't know what was going on. We were just up here talking. Now I can actually see comments and everything and interact with these guys. And a lot of these guys are people that I've known for a long time and hadn't seen in a long time. So this is fun for me. So Sammy, what do you think, man? You think you come back next year?
Absolutely. I mean, this is it's become my only trip of the year. We stay really busy, and I got out of the boat business a long time ago, and I'm about getting too old to do the work that you do to try to keep, you know, getting out and getting bait. And you know, when I was doing it 80 to 100 days a year, I knew where to go get the bait. I knew kind of where the fish were moving, and you know, I'd leave the house at 6 in the morning, have bait by 7:30 and fishing by 8, and you know, usually have a pretty good day all day, because I'd have like 20 different spots that I would try. And you know, it's just, you have to stay on top of them to be consistent with it. I mean, and what I notice about Jeremy, man, he works hard. He goes to wherever he has to go to get the bait he needs. And because you can't go to any lake and throw a net and find what you want.
Yeah.
You know, you got to just keep working and finding where, you know, where you can get the buffet that you need.
Yeah.
You know, and
you can tell it stresses him out
when
when
it does,
he don't
man.
have them found yet. So that's a good thing to have.
He's a hard-working man, and if he doesn't catch fish, it's not in the cards for that day.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, and I mean that happens. I mean it happens to. It happens to everybody. I mean, I told somebody the other day, I said, it's hero or zero, you know,
Yep.
and that's how it is a lot of times. But So, hey, are y'all writing all these people down?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna give everybody a few more minutes to come on here and comment and go subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we're gonna draw a random draw. And like I say, we want to remind everybody we've got a good many hats that we just got in. So if anybody wants a hat, I think they're what? How much are they?
$40.
$40 a hat. So I didn't think I'd ever say that. $40 for a hat. That's unreal.
Amen.
But it is what it is. That's the
Yeah.
world we live in now. Everything's outrageous. So, but so $40 if you want a hat, or $500 if you want to go on a fishing trip. Well, either one or both, we'll take care of it.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, and
So-
worth every penny of it. Worth every penny of it.
yeah.
Yeah, I've already been texting back and forth. My dad is who taught me to fish and taught the love of the outdoors to me, and I've already been texting back and forth with him. I was like, man, we need to come back down here. We need to find a date when we can come back.
Yeah, so we talked about that last year.
Yeah.
It just didn't work
Yeah.
out. So look, these guys, we've been talking fishing, but we're going to talk a little bluegrass for a minute.
All right.
This is, what I do, my lifestyle, and what I do. I fish. I fish all the time. These guys, they play music all the time. They stay on the road. They live in the bus most of the time. So, I know there's a lot of difference between bluegrass music and striper fishing, but I think we sacrifice a lot of the same things. You've got family just like I do, and what you do takes up a lot of time just like what I do.
Absolutely.
So, but these guys, they was in Nashville. They played at the Station Inn Thursday night. Drove all the way down here last night. They rolled in here in the bus at 5 o'clock this morning, and Sammy jumped out of the bus, ready to go fishing. I'm like, man, how does he do that?
I did 28 hours without sleep.
Oh my
And
God.
but it's worth it. I used to stay on the lake sometimes that long back in the day when I was young and single, and but now I'm old and I got 2 young kids, and I just don't get the time to do it. And Adam's going to be a daddy here in September.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Swiftly approaching.
Another September, baby. September 1.
Yeah.
They got one coming in
I
September.
got you.
All
Okay,
right.
good deal. Yeah, September 8th is the due date. Now,
Yeah,
it
there's
might
something
come,
about
it might come a
September.
little early or it might come a little late, but that's
Well,
fine.
congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
didn't know that. I knew you were a newlywed,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
didn't know that y'all was expecting
Yeah,
a baby.
yeah.
So his life's going to change like ours has. And but in bluegrass music, it's not like we tour like country acts and go out for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. It's always weekend festivals and weekend venues that we do. So we're home usually. We usually leave on like Thursday night, work Friday, Saturday, or sometimes we leave Wednesday night, work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get home in time for church on Sunday morning, because I'm the night driver. So when we leave a gig, I try to get these guys back to their cars to where they can get to church for Sunday morning.
Yep.
And then I go to Sunday night church, so I can get home, get a nap, get up, and be ready for church at 6 in the evening. And but still, it affords us. We're able to make a living at it, and it affords us to be home about 200 days a year, 24/7. And a lot of daddies can't say that.
That's true.
So I feel blessed to be able to spend as much time with my wife and kids as I do.
Yeah.
And as long as you work hard at what you're doing in the music business and keep yourself as busy as you want to be, and really, being on the road 160, 170 days a year is as busy as I want to be.
Yeah.
And it keeps me home. I can make a living. My wife's able to stay home and homeschool, so we have the life we want.
Right.
And man, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Well,
you get to come down here and fish. I mean, it's just icing on the cake.
living the dream, man.
That's it.
Living the
That's
dream.
it.
We were on the boat today, and I said, "Man, ain't it a shame? This is how we make our living." Because we're down here working, and you're out working too. So we're all just out having
We're
fun.
just living the dream, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, this has been. I mean, I've been following these guys probably since I was about 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I mean, y'all's music has inspired us, our whole family, for a long time. So
See, I
for
was in
that,
the-
we appreciate that.
I was in the business 25 years before he was born. Before Adam was born,
Yeah.
So it's
One of my
But-
favorite things to do is when we get ready to play a song, he'll say, this one we did, we cut this song back in 19
94.
whatever. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that's 6 years before I was even thought about.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have. This is a dream come true to me, just to have you guys down here to fish with me,
Man.
and that be able to have y'all come in here. When I thought about asking y'all to do this, I thought, they probably ain't gonna want to do that. But I'm really glad y'all did.
Yeah.
And I'm glad y'all are down here for another trip, and I hope we can do it again.
We'll make
So-
it a yearly event.
Yeah, so we're looking, we've still got another day tomorrow, so it ain't over yet. We
Nope.
still got time to catch. We got to get Jesse and Nick a big fish. We're gonna work on that in the morning, or Jason is. But so we're gonna see how tomorrow goes. Well, I'm not really, we're not really gonna approach tomorrow any different than we did today. We're gonna fish the same way. Now we may fish some different spots just to mix it up, because we hit some places pretty hard today. And sometimes when you do that, when you mix them up like that, you can they kind of get finicky on you. Sometimes it's better to move around. And y'all are distracting me back there, all this pointing around. I'm trying to talk to the audience.
You got a live broadcast going on. You can't help it. You got a lot happening behind you.
Yeah. Matt said been getting toward the Lonesome for a long time. Yeah, that's one of my old buddies, Matt Norton, one of my old racing buddies there. And we've been listening to Lonesome River Band for a long time. And I tell you what, everybody's got different taste, but these guys right here, they got songs that you might want to listen to if your girlfriend broke up with you, and then they got songs that, to me, makes you want to go pull baits and catch fish. Gets you fired up. So we're gonna get into that right now. Actually, we're gonna start wrapping this thing up. But so before we let these guys close this thing out and pick one for us, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go ahead and do this random draw right here on this. So y'all go ahead and start getting that ready. We're fixing to give away a set of planer boards. I'm tired of looking at these things.
Here, take Landon, let him pick it up there with his daddy. You take that to your daddy.
Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna let one of them draw it.
Oh, we gotta add one. We gotta add two.
Oh, that's what we like.
Oh, we got more coming in. We got some last minute ones coming in right here. Bryson Walls, that's one of my old racing buddies
Give him a
too.
last call real quick, Jeremy.
Huh?
Give him a
Last call. If anybody wants to get in on this planer board giveaway, just give us a comment and go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're gonna get you on this deal here. Larry Brown. We got Larry Brown. We got Bryson Walls. We got and Matt Norton. He said I'm a heavy metal guy, but I get down to some Lonesome River Band. What about that? I don't know about all that, Larry, but we appreciate you. Oh man, these guys are getting tuned up, man. They fixing to tear it up. So before we do this, we ain't got nobody else coming in. We done added those? Okay. Alright, one of y'all come over here. I'll let one of y'all draw this. We're gonna mix this up right here. Somebody's fixing to win a set of planer boards. Well, they stuck together.
They stuck
There you
together.
go. Who we got?
Matt Norton.
Oh, Matt Norton. He don't need planer boards either. He's a bass fisherman. Man. All right, Matt Norton.
Maybe he'll get into stripers now.
Well, I'm not shipping you these planer boards, buddy. You gotta come see me. Hey, y'all need me to get out of y'all's way?
No, you sit right
I'm
here.
gonna sit right here and enjoy this little bit of picking and grinning, y'all. Alright guys, before these guys do this, we want to thank everybody again for joining us. We want to thank AA Graphics and Signs, B&B Custom Outdoors, Jill of All Trades Scenery, and Tangled Trout Cabin Rentals. Thank all of our partners for making this happen. And we appreciate the guys at Lonesome River Band for being here. Sammy, Adam, Jesse, appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all hit it. Let's do it.
All right, let's come on down from the mountaintop.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Down the mountaintop, say hello to me. I'm down here in the valley low, lonely as can be. Lonely as can be. Remember in together we will be. You left me for the city lights, and now you're living high. You left me here, just walked away. You didn't say goodbye. You didn't even say goodbye. Come on down to the mountain top and say hello to me. I'm down here in the valley low, as lonely as can be, lonely as can be. Give me on the arrow, how your blue eyes shine. I long for you to hold me tight and once again be mine. Windley, oh Windley, the sun is sinking low. Another day is coming gone, girl, I miss you so. You know I miss you so. Down to the mountain top, say hello to me. I'm down here in the valley low, as lonely as can be.
All right, man. All right. Man, I tell you, that sounds like another intro for another fishing video.
Well, we're gonna do you one. Your dad wanted to hear one, so we're gonna get it real quick.
All right, we're
But
gonna do
you
one
need
more.
to put this in on a fishing video, man. It's a Civil War song, so you don't have to pay no royalties on it. You
All
know?
right, cool. All right, we're gonna do another one.
Angela, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I played the wrong song.
We got time for another. All right.
I didn't get no sleep last night, so I played the wrong
That's all
song.
right. That's all right. All right, guys. We thank everybody for tuning in on our number 2 episode, and we hope you guys will come back and join us on the next one. So we're gonna head off here. We got to get in the bed. We got to get up early and go fishing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll
man.
see you guys next time. Thanks.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.